Last night's Good Morning America turned into an absolute war zone when Denzel Washington declared, "I'm done with this show," and walked off set after Michael Strahan pushed him past his breaking point. The two-time Oscar winner didn't just leave. He exposed something about Strahan's financial dealings that ABC has been covering up for years. But what started as a simple interview about his new film would reveal the real reason Strahan's co-hosts have been distancing themselves from him. The morning began with strange energy at the Times Square studios. Denzel Washington arrived for what should have been routine promotion for his latest drama. But producers noticed Michael Strahan acting oddly aggressive during the pre-show meeting, repeatedly saying, "Time to see if he's really that perfect." Robin Roberts tried to calm him down, but Strahan seemed determined to create conflict. Therefore, when the cameras went live, everyone could feel something bad was coming. The show opened with typical morning cheerfulness. Strahan and Robin sat at the desk, while George Stephanopoulos was notably absent. "Good morning, America. We have a special treat today," Robin announced warmly. "The legendary Denzel Washington is here." Washington walked out to enthusiastic applause from the studio audience. He shook Robin's hand warmly, then turned to Strahan. The handshake was brief, professional, but Strahan held on a beat too long, squeezing harder than necessary. "Denzel, welcome back to GMA," Robin said. "We're excited to discuss your new film." But Strahan immediately interrupted. "Before we get to that, I have to ask something. Denzel, you play all these heroic characters, but you never talk about real issues. Why is that?" he said. Washington's smile faded slightly. "Good morning to you too, Michael," he said calmly. "I'm serious," Strahan pressed. "You have this massive platform, but you stay silent on everything that matters. Isn't that just cowardice dressed up as class?" Therefore, the attack was immediate and personal. Robin looked shocked. "Michael, that's not," she started. But Strahan cut her off. "No, Robin, someone needs to ask the tough questions. This isn't a puff piece," he said. Washington leaned back in his chair, studying Strahan. "You want to talk about tough questions? All right, let's talk about why you're really asking them," he said. "What's that supposed to mean?" Strahan asked defensively. "It means I know about your meeting with network executives yesterday, about your ratings being down 40%, about you needing controversy to stay relevant," Washington said calmly. The studio went silent. But Washington wasn't done. "You think attacking me will save your segment? That's your strategy?" he asked. "This isn't about ratings," Strahan protested. "Everything with you is about ratings," Washington corrected. "Or money. Speaking of which, how's that gambling debt treating you?" Strahan's face went pale. "That's private," he said quickly. "But my political views aren't." Washington asked. "Interesting double standard." Robin tried to intervene. "Gentlemen, please, we're live," she said. But Washington turned to her. "Robin, did you know Michael owes $3.7 million to offshore bookies? That's why he's been taking those suspicious trips to the Bahamas," he said. The revelation was devastating. Robin's mouth fell open. The camera operators didn't know where to focus. But Strahan stood up aggressively. "You're lying," he said, his voice shaking. "Am I?" Washington asked, also standing. "Then why did ABC's legal department flag your finances last month? Why are you under internal investigation?" Therefore, the bomb had been dropped. But Washington had more ammunition. "You want to question my activism? Let's discuss yours. Those charity events you host? You keep 60% of the proceeds. That foundation for kids? It's a tax shelter," he said. "That's slander," Strahan said desperately. "It's documented fact," Washington replied. "I have the receipts. Literally. Your accountant is my accountant's brother. Small world, isn't it?" The audience was completely stunned. Some were openly recording. Security didn't even try to stop them. This was beyond anything they'd seen on morning television. "You set me up," Strahan accused. "No, you set yourself up when you decided to ambush me for ratings," Washington said. "I just came prepared." But then he revealed something even worse. "You want to know why George isn't here today? He refused to participate in your planned attack on me." Robin didn't know. "Did you, Robin?" he asked. Robin shook her head, looking at Strahan with disgust. "Michael, is this true?" she asked. Strahan couldn't answer. But Washington could. "Show them the cards, Michael. The blue cards you're hiding. The ones with all your attack questions," he said. Strahan's hand moved instinctively to his desk, where blue index cards were visible. The camera zoomed in. catching glimpses of prepared hostile questions. This was supposed to be about my film, Washington said to the camera. Instead, it became about Michael's desperation to create viral content. Well, congratulations, Michael. You're about to go viral, just not how you planned. You're destroying my career, Strahan said, his voice breaking. No, you destroyed it yourself with greed and dishonesty, Washington replied. I'm just pulling back the curtain. He turned to Robin. I'm sorry you got caught in this, Robin. You deserve better than being associated with this, he said. Then back to Strahan. You know what the saddest part is? You were a hero to kids, NFL champion. But you sold that legacy for money you gambled away, he said. Stop, Strahan pleaded. But Washington delivered the final blow. That's why Kelly Ripa really left, isn't it? She found out about the gambling, about the debts, about you stealing from the show's charity fund, he said. The accusation was nuclear. Robin stood up, backing away from Strahan. You stole from charity? She asked, horrified. I borrowed it, Strahan said weakly. I was going to pay it back. With what? Washington asked. You're broke. Your houses are mortgaged 3 times over. Your cars are leased. Even your Super Bowl rings are in a pawn shop. The destruction was complete. But Washington wasn't quite finished. I'm done with this show, he declared. But before I go, let me be clear. I came here to promote a film about redemption. Instead, I got to expose corruption. Maybe that's more valuable. He looked directly at the camera. To everyone watching, be careful who you trust with your attention. Some people earning millions to sit behind these desks are stealing from the very charities they promote, he said. You've ruined me, Strahan said, slumping in his chair. No, Michael. You ruined yourself. I just refuse to be your comeback story, Washington said. He walked off to stunned silence. Then, slowly, the audience began applauding. It built to a standing ovation. But the chaos was just beginning. We need to go to commercial immediately, Robin said, her voice shaking. But it was too late. The live stream had captured everything. Within seconds, hashtag Denzel exposes Strahan was trending worldwide. The gambling debts, the charity theft, the investigation, everything exploded across social media. ABC suspended Strahan within hours. Pending investigation into serious allegations, their statement read. But insiders knew he was finished. Kelly Ripa broke her silence that afternoon, confirming Washington's claims. I left because I discovered financial irregularities I couldn't ignore, she posted. The FBI announced they were investigating the charity fraud allegations. The New York Gaming Commission opened an inquiry into illegal gambling connections. Strahan's world collapsed completely. Good Morning America went dark for 3 days while ABC cleaned house. When they returned, Strahan's chair was gone. His name scrubbed from everything. His decade-long run ended in disgrace. But Denzel Washington emerged as a hero. His film opened to massive numbers, audiences rallying behind his integrity. His willingness to expose corruption resonated deeply. The incident became known as the GMA takedown. Journalism schools studied it as an example of what happens when hosts become corrupt, when ratings matter more than truth, when gambling debts drive desperation. Michael Strahan lost everything. His NFL analyst position gone. His endorsements canceled. His fortune seized for debts. The man who'd been living a lie was finally exposed. But Washington proved something crucial that morning. That preparation beats ambush. That truth defeats deception. That sometimes the best promotion for a film about redemption is showing what happens when someone is beyond redeeming. I'm done with this show became legendary. Not just as an exit line, but as a declaration that integrity won't participate in corruption. That real heroes don't just play them on screen. The empty chair Strahan left behind was never filled. A permanent reminder of the morning when Denzel Washington didn't just walk off a show. He walked away from corruption while exposing it completely. The morning when a planned ambush became the ambusher's execution.